So when we say that we're going to rotate something 90 degrees counterclockwise, in the back of your brain, you need to be thinking that that's the same thing as 270 degrees clockwise. I want you to be thinking of that, right? So the easiest way to do this is to list your ordered pairs. Well, A is the ordered pair, 2, -2. And so A prime transforms into, the y coordinate comes first and it has to be the opposite. Oh, I'm frozen. Sorry. The y coordinate comes first. So A is the ordered pair 2, -2, and I'm going to transform it. So I have to write the y coordinate first and it's the opposite. So what is the opposite of the current y coordinate? 2. And then x stays the same, 2. Let's see. B started as the ordered pair 4, 1, transforms to B prime, which is what? What's the opposite of y, comma x? -1, 4. C started as the ordered pair 5, 1, transforms to C prime, opposite y, -1, 5. Do you guys see how I'm using this rule? I have to get the opposite of y and then put the x there, okay? And D started at the ordered pair, started as 5, -1, transforms to D prime, which is 1, 5. So let's plot those new points. So A is now going to be A prime is now 2, 2. B prime is -1, +4. C prime is -1, 5. And D prime is 1, 5. So my new shape, my image is this. That was 90 degrees counterclockwise. Here's another way to think about it. Remember, we named the quadrants one day when we started talking about how things work in terms of like transformations. We did a review activity, right? If you're doing a 90-degree rotation, if something starts in quadrant 4 and it's moving counterclockwise, it better end up in quadrant 1. Point A and point D started in quadrant 4 and they both ended up in quadrant 1. Point B and C started in quadrant 1, so they have to go to the next box, quadrant 2. Okay? All right, so let's jump down here and write down all of the rules. Let's write down all of the rules really fast. So we wrote the rules for a 90-degree counterclockwise, which is the same thing as 270 degrees clockwise. What about 180 degrees? So do I have to specify, if I move 180 degrees, do I have to specify if it's moving clockwise or counterclockwise?
Yes, you do.
Do I?
No.
Why, Tyler?
It's going to end up in the same place.
It's going to end up in the same spot. So we just moved something 180 degrees. All we're doing is changing the sign of the ordered pairs. Changing the sign. X comma y transforms to the opposite of x, the opposite of y. Okay, the last rule that I'm going to tell you about is if we go 90 degrees clockwise, which is the same as what? Yeah, 270 degrees counterclockwise. "90 degrees clockwise is the same as 270 degrees counterclockwise." Okay. We take our x comma y, and we transform it to y comma opposite of x. So it's asking you to take each one of these ordered pairs from the image above and do a 90 degree, 180 degree, or a 270 degree counterclockwise rotation with them. So 90 degrees counterclockwise is the first one that we did. We already listed all of our ordered pairs. They're right here. Does everybody see that? These ordered pairs right here are what you're listing right here. Remember what the rule is for 90 degrees clockwise. Opposite y, comma, x. That's what you're doing. 2, 2. Negative 1, 4. Negative 1, 5. Positive 1, 5. 180 degrees, remember the rule is you just change the sign. Opposite x, opposite y. Just change the sign. Whatever the ordered pair is, you change the signs of the coordinates. So negative 2, positive 2. Exactly. 4, 1 is going to become negative 4, negative 1. 5, 1 is going to become negative 5, negative 1. And 5, negative 1 becomes negative 5, positive 1. Very good. 270 degrees counterclockwise, the rule y, comma, negative x. Y, comma, negative x. So y stays the same, x becomes its opposite. Y stays the same, the x coordinate is the opposite. Y stays the same, x coordinate is the opposite. Y stays the same, x coordinate is the opposite. Yeah, I'm waiting for David to come back, but we just close the door. Okay. All right. So flip over to the next page. So again, we're going to write down our rules. Well, we know that 90 degrees counterclockwise is the same thing as 270 degrees clockwise. And we know that the rule x comma y is opposite y comma x. These are just the rules that we just talked about. We know that 180 degrees counterclockwise is the same thing as 180 degrees clockwise. And that's why we just don't even use, like you typically don't see the letters after it, right? We know that that rule, x comma y, transforms to opposite x, opposite y. 270 degrees counterclockwise is the same as 90 degrees clockwise. X comma y transforms to y opposite x. Now, I feel like this is always a great lesson, except that we just jumble the rules. So I encourage you to just pick an ordered pair. When you're doing a rotation, just pick an ordered pair that's not the same number. Like don't use 2, 2, 3, 3. Do like 1, 5, something like that. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to go back up to this graph up here. I don't know who's talking, but they better shut it. So I'm going to show you what I mean to help you remember your rules. So if I started with the point 3, 2. Are you listening up there? Is that you talking, Draco? If I started with the ordered pair 3, 2, shh, someone's talking. Is it you, Colt? Okay. If I started with the ordered pair 3, 2, and I rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. Imagine this box getting, I want everyone to take their hand kind of like this and you move it up. So if I'm looking at A and it moves up, it gets rotated. What's going to happen to this? It's now going to become what? It becomes the ordered pair -2, +3. So the ordered pair 3, 2 became the ordered pair -2, +3. And if that doesn't help, I mean, use something like 2, 2. If I rotate that 90 degrees, it becomes negative 2, 2. But that doesn't help you understand the transformation with the X and the Y. Okay? So we're going to practice that, making sure that you guys really understand what the rule is. And I have graphing grids over there that you just rotate. Okay? So hexagon DGJTSR is shown below. What is the image of point T after a 270-degree counterclockwise rotation about the origin? So 270 degrees. What are you doing on your computer? Nothing. Just close it. Are you taking notes? Okay. So 270 degrees. It says we're going to take this hexagon and we're going to rotate it 270 degrees. And I just need to know what point T is. I just need to know what point T is after it's rotated. So what is point T currently? What is the ordered pair for point T right now? Right now, T is the ordered pair 5, 3. If I rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise, remember that 270 degrees counterclockwise transforms to Y opposite X. It's going to be the ordered pair 5, -3. No, it's not going to be 5, -3. 3, -5. Yes. The Y coordinate comes first and then the opposite of the X coordinate. So what answer choice is that? It's answer choice D. Okay. Say again. Triangle PQR is shown below. What is the image of point Q after 90-degree counterclockwise rotation? So 90 degrees. What is point Q right now? So if I rotate counterclockwise 90 degrees, I'm going to do the opposite of Y, comma X. So my new point Q prime becomes the opposite of the Y coordinate, comma 4. -5, 4. All right, this is a challenge problem. Oh, do you need me to keep that up there? Do you have a question?
Why do we write it as like y negative? So like for this one, it says y first and then x. Why don't we just write it down in order so then we don't have to think like x and then negative?
Because ordered pairs come X, comma Y, right? All ordered pairs are written as, so when you plot, like when you look at point Q, this is the X coordinate of the point, and this is the Y coordinate of the point. When you rotate this 90 degrees counterclockwise, it ends up being -5, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +4. So the new ordered pair, this is what a 90-degree rotation does to it. The new ordered pair is really, the rule is that you take the Y coordinate and you put it first, but it's opposite, and then the X coordinate becomes the Y. Okay, let's look at this challenge problem. Start with the ordered pair 2, -3. Call it point G. We're going to reflect G in the Y-axis. So what does that look like? Where is G prime? Tell me the new ordered pair of G prime. It's going to be -2, -3. Good job. Okay. Then we're going to translate G prime along vector -4, -5. What does that mean? That means we subtract 4 from the X and we subtract 5 from the Y. So G double prime becomes what? What's -2 and -4 become? -6 and -8. Finally, we take this guy, G double prime, and we rotate it 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So 90 degrees clockwise takes your X comma Y and rotates it to Y opposite X. 90 degrees clockwise. So what does G triple prime become? It's had 3 things done to it now. Well, what's the opposite of the X? Or sorry, what's the Y coordinate? -8, +6. Okay.